Gosh, what day is this? This is February the 23rd already. 5 more days in this glorious month. And I think we're done with the snow, maybe for a minute. This accumulation, it's been amazing. And now as it soaks into the earth, so good, good moisture. Will you all join me in singing the words here on the board, the screen?
And we have the lovely.
And Rick's going to accompany us. And so we're just going to follow him. He's going to set the cadence. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Nice. I love that opening. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, all your beautiful voices out there. Today, our Sunday services are being live streamed. Thank you for helping to support Unity Ministry. You may donate by going to PayPal at this address that you see on the screen, or on our website, unityofbillings.org. If you haven't been to our website, it's changing all the time, and it's amazing.
And it's back up and live.
And it's back up and live, right? That's what
we
we.
got our domain back, and Clayton was gonna work on it, so I haven't checked, but in theory it's done.
Right, so give it a try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't,
And if it won't, it's shortly.
that's right. And if it doesn't, then move on to the next opportunity. We just got to keep on moving. I don't know about you all, but sometimes technology gives me a big stumble. And I'm just like, all right, I'm just not going to let this defeat me. Today, our announcements are our March 16th, St. Patrick's Day Luncheon Fundraiser, and that'll be on Sunday. And we have the, do we have the sign-up sheet in the back? It looks like we do. Yes. Oh, Edie, by the way, I didn't realize that wasn't the correct sign-up sheet, so I signed you up to be the chairman of the 100-year anniversary fund. It was a total accident. So I was here on Thursday night, yoga with Tony, which was phenomenal. That was an amazing session. I loved it. It took me a little bit to get through it, but the next day I felt so strong and so empowered, and all the little cricks and the nicks and the things in my back and my neck were all gone. Just like you said, Tony. She said, this is going to work out, all those little things. It was awesome. So awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Such a joy. Our spring equinox sound bath will be March 19th. We don't know exactly what time yet. Usually it's 5:30, 6-ish, something like that, but we'll get the exact time for you. Our meditation room is available 9:30 a.m. Sundays, Monday, Tuesday evenings. Okay, let me start over here. I'm confusing myself and all of you. The meditation room is available at 9:30 a.m. on Sundays. Monday, Tuesday evenings at 7 to 8 p.m. and Thursdays on our yoga night from 5:30 to 7. So our yoga lasts till 6:30. So after you do yoga, then you can go and sit in the meditation room, which actually yoga is a perfect preparation for meditation. Perfect. You get all aligned and everything, and it's very powerful. Be a good thing to do before I jump in my car and drive, because I'm all out there. Next Sunday is our Friendship Sunday potluck. Please join us downstairs after the service to share some wonderful eats and conversation. The eats are always really good. I brought some really good stuff today. I made the, what is the Italian salad? Oh, the caprese. And I have that downstairs. I was going to a party last night and I just couldn't quite get there. So I brought the treats for you, and there's a big salad in the refrigerator as well. Nice. Good. We're going to have a healthy gathering today. Reset all of our neurotransmitters, and everything's going to be glorious. Jane and Rick have a couple of announcements. Jane.
Hi there, everyone, and welcome. It's great to see your beautiful faces. Rick and I take photographs for nature photographers, and we make calendars every year, wall calendars. Excuse me. And we have 6 of them left that we have brought to donate to the church. They usually sell for $22, but we're just asking a love offering. And we'll have them sitting back at the table there. He went to go grab them. And also, Rick, if any of you know what haiku is, it's a poem, a Japanese poem that has the particular kind that he does has 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. And he has a book that we just got printed with his haiku in it because he has haiku brain. He can't stop making them. He wakes up in the middle of the night. So he's got enough haiku for almost 9 books now, I think. And this is his first edition. So I'll let him tell you how much he's charging for them, because those aren't a love offering. Those are his special, very special treat for everyone, if you wish, okay? And he went to go get those also. So come on up here, Ricky. I want you to show the book. It's so beautiful. It has our photographs in it as well. Do you want to say anything about it? I kind of explained everything.
Is it?
Yeah. This is it. And read
Awesome.
What
It is
is it?
definitely a little book.
Read it. Okay.
That is so awesome, Rick.
The name of the book is called A Little Book of Haiku. And there's about 100 plus haiku in there. And I titled it Painting Life in 17 Syllables because haiku has 17 syllables for those of you who know what a haiku is.
And let's explain that.
And I've got my pen name on this book, which is Gus Arthur. And Gus Arthur is my middle name after my grandfather from the paternal side. And Arthur is my middle name or maiden name of my grandmother, Annie Arthur. So I combined that to be Gus Arthur, which was kind of fun. Anyway, there's some beautiful photos, and the haiku are written describing different areas of nature and my philosophical thoughts and my spiritual thoughts and my health and well-being. And anyway, this little book took me years and years to write, and that should explain it.
So there you go. We'll have these for you to look at, and if you wish to purchase. I didn't tell them how much because you hadn't decided yet. So there you go.
There's as much as you can get.
They're
Here, I'll just take that
$20.
one. I want to purchase
And
this
guess
one.
what? You have the signer here.
Exactly. That's
He
why
can sign it for you.
I want to get it now. That's awesome.
There you go.
Thank you so much. What a treat. I really enjoy all of your creations, Rick and Jane. You two are amazing. Wow, that's awesome. You know, an interesting quick note about 2 middle names. That's a very special delineation.
Yeah.
My son, I gave him 2 middle names because my husband and I could not decide on what his middle name should be. And I picked the first name, and he said, okay, so I get to pick the second name. I'm like, no, we'll do it together. Anyway, he got 2 middle names, and his whole life he just lamented that. He's like, oh, Brooks, why? None of his friends had 2 middle names. It was really an anomaly. And then he met this magical woman who he married, and she had two middle names. And I said, that's how you knew she was the one. So he was good with it then.
Well, can I share a really cool thing about my son's name?
Yes.
And I owe this to my ex-husband, I didn't do it, but anyway. His initials spell his name. It's Ian Adam Nagel, IAN.
That is cool. Yeah, names are very interesting, very interesting. Well, thank you for this book. I will treasure it, and I will pay you. So back to March 16th, our corned beef and cabbage Irish stew fundraiser, $12 per person. We will have Irish stew. We will have corned beef and cabbage. We will have dessert, always. Always
Bread.
Always dessert. And we'll have soda bread. Grains of Montana makes the best soda bread I've ever tasted. And there's a sign up on the back table. Please sign up, and so that we'll know how much food to purchase. Charlene and Debbie Myloff normally purchase the ingredients for the stew with their own money, and then we do the fundraiser, and so it's a wonderful time together. And today our speaker is Rev Edee Weigel, and she's going to give us the message about releasing stuck energy. That is a perfect, appropriate time for this, because after going through this winterness and this hibernation-ish time, it's time to get that energy flowing, right? And now, if everyone will take a moment, take a deep cleansing breath and settle into yourselves. And we will listen to the Unity song with David Friedman.
Every prayer is answered, every prayer is heard, every thought and feeling, every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel, is already here, is already real. There is no one out there is no one else. You hold all the answers deep inside yourself. There's a voice that whispers, there's no you, no me, there's just one, there's just unity. One power, one presence, one light to lead the way, all loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray. When the world looks darkest and your eyes can't see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I am always with you, I will always be. I am one, I am unity. We are one, we are
Thank you, David. David Friedman is a longtime Unitic. He, and the sounds is amazing. Thank you so much. Feel his passion, just so emphatic. As I light the Christ candle, which is a symbol of the indwelling Christ within all of us and in our service today. Our daily word, which we received our new daily words, right? Do we have them on the back table available?
Not yet.
Okay.
They'll probably come this week.
Okay, they're coming in, but we have those back there. I treasure those. I carry one in my car and one in my purse, just because I have those opportunities from time to time. Like every 25 minutes, I have to. Speaking of wisdom, and if y'all will join me in wisdom. Wisdom guides my words and actions. When I have felt torn trying to decide which way to go or how to handle a trying situation, I may have asked in prayer for insight and guidance. As I have grown spiritually, I have come to realize that any insight and guidance I could need are within me, aspects of my divine inheritance. Divine wisdom is my ability to intuit, to sense, and to discern my best choice. I pay attention to my hunches, flashes of inspiration, and the whispers of guidance I feel in my quiet moments. I believe they are divinely inspired, even if they surprise me. In confidence and with gratitude, I move in the direction of my highest good, trusting in my innate wisdom. And when you turn to the right or when you turn to the left, your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Isaiah 30:21. And again, will you affirm with me, wisdom? Wisdom guides my words and actions. And join me in affirming our Unity of Foundation principle and our Unity of Billings affirmation. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And our Unity of Billings affirmation that was crafted by Charlene Inglis, our prayer chaplain. Through divine wisdom and grace, Unity of Billings is vibrant, healing, and inclusive. If you'll take a moment now and gather your tithes, your prayers, hold them and infuse them with your love and your divine energy. And join me in praying. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
Sorry. Really didn't sound like that.
I'll just announce it. Okay. Today we're going to be singing Weave. It's on page 212. And this used to be a Girl Scout song.
Yes.
And they would gather around in a circle. And what they did was, hold this for me for a second. They'd put their hands in front of them and then they'd weave it like this. I always thought that was a beautiful scene. And I also envisioned us gathering together, which not today, we don't need to do that, but in a circle, and then you just weave in and out of each other, you know, as we sing this song. It's kind of like chewing gum and tapping your head, You sing and walk at the same time? Not always easy. Okay. We'll sing together. Do you know the song?
I do, but that's right, you guys go.
You know the
do it.
whole song?
I do.
But you're gonna, you said, you guys go.
And I'll play it through once.
He's gonna play the whole song through once, and then we will join him. And my voice is not up to par, but I'm gonna sing anyway. I'm gonna enjoy it, okay?
There you go.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. That brings back a lot of Girl Scout memories.
A lot of what memories?
Girl Scout memories. Yes. Yes, we did. We did. Awesome. And now, without further ado, Reverend Edee Weigel will share with us the ways to release stuck energy. Good morning. Now, you know you've got me to blame for all that snow, because me and my man friend had a joke. We were doing snow dancing around the holidays, and then it started snowing and snowing and snowing. And does it remind you of Mickey Mouse, you know, the Sorcerer's Apprentice? And suddenly the buckets and the brooms and everything started happening. So my house, you know, was like, 4 foot of snow between all the buildings. And I've had neighbors show up. I didn't even know who they were, and they plowed me out. I love living in our little place there. For the 100 years of Unity in Billings, I will be sharing the little 1924 edition, first copy of the Daily Word I found in my mother's things. But I did look it up. It's probably was printed in the 40s when she first started going. But it still has all the original stuff they thought we needed to think about every day. So I'll use it for the meditation. But every time I give a talk, I'll share one more page of it. So that's 30-something talks in my future.
Yay.
So do you laugh? This morning it was 42 above. The other day when I got up and went out, it was 38 below. And I have an outfit to wear that didn't matter if I fall down because I'm just, you know, that ball that people get in and their legs stick out, you know. So it's like, yes, releasing stuck energy, ice jams, stuck in the snow, snowbound, made me laugh. But underneath it all, the sap is rising in the trees and the buds are forming on the cottonwoods. And we've had a few robins stop by. And I do have a bird feeder right outside the window. So that's been my entertainment with me and the kitty cats. But literally, I have not really been anywhere since January the 5th was the last time I was here. Because I was snowed in most of the last 5 weeks. I just let it be. The horses are fine, they dig through the snow. But yeah, releasing stuck energy, what a great subject for today. Because we have daylight savings times coming. And spring is here. I mean, it's literally happening right in front of our eyes. I have no idea what this is.
I don't either.
Probably in case we're singing again.
Maybe someone knew we were singing a song about weaving and they brought up weaving.
But spring is beckoning. I mean, I can feel the energy changing. I wake up in the morning and it's getting light. So I know that this is it. Life is waking up. We feel a restless stirring. All of a sudden, we're not snowbound. And we get to do all the fun things, like go to the groceries and actually fill up my basket with fresh organic vegetables. I actually did kind of run out of food for a while, but I've got food storage. I was getting very creative, beans, you know, split pea soup, you know, all the canned stuff, but yeah, that's all right. As long as I got cat food and horse food, that's all that matters. This restless energy sometimes might feel like anxiety, but we can learn how to transmute that anxiety into product. So I started painting again, started cleaning house again. And thank God for the wonderful basement man that came and fixed my little house right before all this weather. He didn't finish, you know, every time I go downstairs to do laundry or check cat box, whatever, there's the rest of his stuff. But he got it finished enough to stop that big cold air leak,
Nice.
Literally.
You should come here.
Yeah, there you go. We might need a little help there with the roof's leaking in the other room. We did have raindrop sound happening. Just listen to the rain. No, it's real. I went in there and water was pouring through. Now we've got, I guess, trash cans and things in there. So we're springing forward. And I not have to speak on the day that the time changes. I always kind of look at that like, oh, good, I don't have to go that day. But as we're starting to change our energy from stuck all winter, thinking about summer, there are some energies that may block the flow of our life-supporting energy. Like ice in a river, we can be blocked or jammed. You know, when things start moving, all of a sudden it brings up some things that maybe we don't want to think about or feel. So just like the ice can block up the river and all the water goes around it, we can't hold on too tight to our emotions. You know, like the more you squeeze it, the more it runs through your fingers. Everyone has a tendency to resist change. But here's an interesting and inviting part. Change can be fun. It was really fun to put on normal clothes today instead of, I have a thing I call my calving outfit when I used to help with cows in the middle of the night. So basically it's like a sleeping bag with a zipper up the middle. Definitely not fashion. But yeah, change can be fun.
And change gives you a charge. Releasing stuck energy can feel like the opening of a new chapter of your life. And how many of you have seen Eat, Pray, Love? Eat, Pray, Love, Liz Gilbert. So I've got YouTube on my TV now, and Liz Gilbert's come up, and I've listened to her a lot lately. She's a very interesting speaker. There's quite a few people I really like. Is Carolyn Mice? How do you say her name? Carolyn Mice? Mace. I never could remember her name. Anyway, I've been listening to her too. And so it's part of my theme today I've been doing a lot of studies, taking notes. Eat, Pray, Love. So in the story, Liz buys 3 tickets to spend 4 months in 3 separate countries for a 1-year sabbatical. Have you ever taken a sabbatical?
Yes.
I did. I took a sabbatical because change gives you a charge. Willingness to let go of anything that is ego-based is releasing stuck energy. You know, I gave a talk last year about, is it from the ego or from the source? And just writing that one talk and speaking that out, it kind of changed my entire energy. Because it's just like, no, I see you. Do not trip me up. I've got my yak tracks on. I got solid feet on me. But willingness to let go of anything that's ego-based is releasing stuck energy. Let go of any emotion that creates that uneasy feeling. Your guts know when you're lying to yourself. How do you like that one? I didn't really make it up, but being stuck at home like that, I got real creative about what I was doing. I'm like, I'm in a Zen caveman. You know, I'm communing with the yogis in the caves. You know, I'm like in the Himalayas, snowed in. I just kind of had to make a real adventure out of it. But being alone for days and days and days on end, you start peeling away layers of, I call it disbelief. I was lying to myself about that. Like, I'm going to try a different attitude about this. So, you know, writing in my journal, you know, it's like this many pages. If you feel stuck and you feel that funny feeling in your guts, then you know you need to admit it to yourself that you need a change. When I was turning 40, I'd been coming up to Montana and Idaho for a few years. This is back in 1995, I turned 40. And I'd been coming up this way. Mother and I had saved some money and we wanted to buy a house. We were looking in San Diego to buy a little house. A little house back then was like $250,000. Now they're probably $2.5 million. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of YouTubes of my old neighborhoods. But I had been up here enough then. By the time I turned 42, I decided to move up here. Mother had come with me several times. I go, Mom, I got to go judge a horse show in Great Falls. You want to go? We can go see Charlie Russell Museum. So off she'd come with me. We'd had fun. I'd been in San Diego County since I was 31, and it had been wonderful. I had a great job. And 1986 was a great time to live in Del Mar. And I lived right by Yogananda's ashram there, the Self-Realization Fellowship, where he was living when he wrote Autobiography of a Yogi. So, I mean, that's where I got to go to my Sunday services. It was really a great place to live. But, you know, I could see that things were changing really fast. And living 35 miles from the Mexican border, I just had a feeling it was time to get out of there. Just get up and go. I had no idea where I was going to go. But Mom came down and stayed with me, and we'd go to SRF together. And I thought, you know, Mom, instead of buying a house in San Diego, why don't we buy a ranch in Montana? She's like, what? You know, by Charlie Russell, you know, let's go see what it looks like. So she came up with me, and we drove around and we saw stuff. And, you know, I said, she and I were living in an apartment over here on Shiloh Glen, across from where Shiloh Crossing is now. She said, one day she said to me, I found out there's a Unity Church in Billings. So we started coming here in 98. But while she and I were living over there, we were treating, praying, visualizing a ranch to buy. And sure enough, we found that little place out in Huntley. You know, it's, I lived up here when When I first moved up here, I didn't know where Fort Peck was or Glasgow, but I landed a job living on a ranch as a cook, and I could live for free, and I could take one horse. And I left San Diego, and I ended up in Wolf Point, Fort Peck, Glasgow, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's no mountains, there's no pine trees, where am I? But I still stayed there for a year. It was 50 miles to drive to town. But I got to take care of a lot of cows, and there was lots of land to ride my horse on. So it was just from San Diego to Glasgow. And I was outside working, and I had a headache, and they're like, why are you working? It's 20 below. And I went, oh, it is? I didn't know, look at the thermometer. I didn't know. I learned a lot real fast. But I loved it. I cooked 3 big meals a day, junk food for cowboys, shovel it to them, My joke. But Mother and I, we ended up coming down here, and we had horses. We kept them on 56th Street, and Ernie owned the ranch next door. So he was over there working, and I was working, and he asked me to go get some ice cream. Kind of worked out. And while I've been snowed in, I've been watching a lot of Eckhart Tolle. He makes me laugh. He's sitting in the chair, and he looks at everybody. He's real quiet. And everybody starts kind of giggling, and he starts kind of laughing, because it's kind of like, the power of now. How now is your now, because he just has that little twinkle in his eye. I really love listening to him. He says, how long do you think it takes to unclutter your mind? And he's real quiet. He just kind of smiles, everybody laughs. How long do you think it takes to unclutter your mind? Years of spiritual practice? Discipline? Iron fist will? No, it's instantaneous. I've uncluttered my mind. Poof, it's gone. And he just makes you laugh. Everybody's laughing. It's instantaneous. It's the power of now. Instantly, you take a big letting go breath and you exhale. And you visualize the night sky full of stars. And by looking at that sky full of stars, and you feel the kingdom of heaven is within you. Anytime you want to, you can feel that night sky, not only filling your visual space, but filling you, your mind, your body. Just like we're made of stardust. You visualize those stars, and it just unclutters your mind. What's important? Survival, fighting, war, dissension. That's not important. That stuff will kill you. Let's be positive thinkers. Visualize looking at that night sky and just feel that wonder of the universe just pouring into you. Changes everything about your life and your body. You feel the kingdom of heaven. You feel your inner space with the wonder of the universe. And that spaciousness that you create in your mind, that is the kingdom of heaven. You create a state of consciousness that's truly yours, your kingdom. And you create it with the power of now. The things you're challenged with no longer make you unhappy. So we all have challenges. But when you're in the flow, when you're experiencing the divine, you have challenges just like everyone else, but they don't bother you anymore. Yeah, I just drove out over the snow and ice, big 4-wheel drive. Put your brain in 4-wheel drive. Just jump over your challenges. The challenges of life remain, but they no longer pull you into negative thinking. You're like a magician. You alchemize everything into a positive opportunity. And challenges are easily dealt with. Releasing stuck energy. So your challenges are easily dealt with, and it's a simple but powerful shift as you choose to react with strength and power of a spiritual process that changes old wounds and old triggers into self-love. I've been enjoying rereading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I love him. He's also on the YouTube. So this is what I'm recommending. Watch a little Eckhart, watch a little Liz Gilbert, watch a little Carolyn Mice. Is it Mice? Maze?
Maze,
Mace.
like M-A-C-E.
Okay, I've got it now. I will remember. Carolyn Mace. Being snowed in has been really good for me. It was almost like, you know, when you quit running in circles or they're gonna nail your other foot to the floor. I've been experimenting watching Zen stories. Now, I never really realized how much Zen Buddhism really resonates with my upbringing and my personal beliefs, but I've come to a realization that I'm a Zen Buddhist and I didn't even know it. One of my friends asked me if I was going stir crazy being stuck at home, and I'm like, no, I've been expanding my consciousness. You know, because I, you know, even had a really unusual bird come to the feeder. I mean, it was a big deal. Made my day. But it's all attention of awareness. And you can become self-aware. Ruh-roh, you become self-aware. It's like me is watching me cutting up these fresh vegetables that I'm so happy to eat. Got my whole basket full of fresh organic vegetables. You can become self-aware and you can become conscious of the you observing you. And you pay attention to what you are paying attention to because it all creates energy. You know, once you get online with creating this fabulous energy, you're addicted to it. You don't want to leave it behind. And it's good for you. It's all good for you. Being snowed in a lot, I had mega time for journaling. And the stuck energy was the snow. And yet there was a certain sense of peace. I woke up every morning just laying there knowing I have nowhere to go and nothing to do until 12 noon. That's when the cats and the horses line up because they know I'm coming out. I look out the window, they're all fine. They wave, we're fine. I only had to survive and thrive. I had to take care. And I had lots of time to do all kinds of peaceful Zen activities, peacefully looking out at the land and like really marveling how high the snow is getting. You know, my basement windows, it's lovely. I love it. I don't know if you guys know that snow has nitrogen in it and it makes the pasture, the grass grow like mad. So this year I might even get a double crop. So this is me being a farmer. I'm like, oh boy, you know, you look out 10 acres, it's a crop and it's going to come up. So, you know, I got some buckets of snow into the house and melt some water for the house plants, you know, and peacefully watching the birds. But releasing stuck energy can be one of the most liberating exercises on our spiritual journey. I discovered there is a specific tool, physical tool that you can do to release stuck energy and transmute it. And it's a special kind of pranayama. And it's 2 breaths in and then a really long breath out. And if you guys don't want to feel silly, you can close your eyes for a minute. So it's 2 breaths in and then really slow breath out. 2 breaths in and then really slow breath out. It actually changes your heartbeat. Within 5 minutes, you can lower your blood pressure and your heartbeat. So 2 breaths in real quick, and then flowing very slowly out. And I have been using this tool every time I get tempted to have a little bit of a, oh my goodness, you know what's going on now. I've been using this tool, so I have experimented, and I absolutely can say it does change your energy. 2 breaths in, and then breath out. That's you talking to your brain and saying, hey, wake up. We are powerful, and we can manifest someone coming to plow out my driveway. There he was, 16-foot wide blade. Amazing. And then I called and asked him, I said, was that you? And he laughed and laughed. Of course, didn't charge you. You know, our neighborhood's great. But releasing stuck energy can be one of the most liberating exercises on our spiritual journey. Anytime, just as like you maybe tie that string around your finger, you can remember to use this spiritual tool. It absolutely works because physically it changes your heartbeat and your blood pressure. We change our habits to expand our love and expand our hearts. And what we can learn is that the love we cultivate is not necessarily needed to be directed outward. When you have stuck hurt feelings, like someone hurt your feelings, they hurt my feelings, I must love them in order to forgive them. No, not necessarily. Love yourself enough to forgive them. Because when you love someone enough to forgive them, you get all the benefit out of it. Self-love gives you self-power. It's great stuff. And it's a real shift in consciousness when your self-talk can change to, I choose to be loving and kind to myself by observing my emotions. I choose to be loving and kind to myself so that I develop this tool to not only master my emotions, but release them and transform them to a higher, more positive energy. This is letting go of stuck energy. Just like ice can be stuck in an ice jam, as it warms up, it melts into water, the river flows and waters the land. No flooding. It's going to go where it's supposed to go. We can also warm up our emotions. We can have old, outmoded ways of reactions, but we can choose to warm up our hearts and minds, shift our consciousness to a more expansive self. You're like, I'm a marshmallow. Nobody can hurt me. Like my outfit I'm wearing. If I fall down, I just could roll around for a while and get up. I've been wearing my ice tracks. I have not slipped and fallen. Thank you, Lord. You can visualize warming up by just putting your hand on your heart. And visualize like the sun is in your palm and your palm's over your heart and you're just shining cosmic sun into your heart. Cosmic sun into your heart. I got your full attention, don't I? We warm up our emotions and we consciously shift to one of growth. So you're thinking of this, the spring, sun is shining, and all the leaves are going to grow. You're growing this inside of your heart too. You're growing a whole new you. Rational thought, forward thinking, and feeling safe. This changes everything. We change the story. We change the stories we tell. We change our focus to the now. What am I creating right now? What am I creating right now? It's really amazing to me, the things that come up on YouTube, because it was actually the physiology of neurological reaction to prayer and faith. And I don't know, do you guys know what dopamine is? It's kind of one of our big motivators in our mind. And do you know what synapses are? And you know there's the two little guys are right there and they send things to each other. Well, did you know that dopamine's always flowing through our body? The receptors on this end, they're like little flowers that are open. And then they close. And then all of a sudden you're not so happy. You know, you could just visualize those dopamine receptors staying open and receiving that constant flow. I think that's what being a Zen Buddhist is all about. Because I've been visualizing staying in that flow and those little receptors staying open. And there's just this flow that's been happening. I feel like a whole new person this year. I think staying stuck at home was a really good thing for me. Peace and self-mastery can be ours as we learn to recognize and redirect our reactions. It's important to recognize repeated emotional reactions to any challenges in our daily life. We may wear these as like a shield, an armor, but it keeps the bad out, but it keeps the good in. I mean, why not just rip it away? I'm like a whole new person. Keeping those neurotransmitters, synapses, keeping that dopamine flow. You just visualize, I'm wide open. I take it all. When you have so much pleasure, Mother Nature wants to give you a little pain to kind of balance you out. So being a little Zen Buddhist, not too much pleasure, not too much pain. It's just balanced. It's fabulous. Write in your journal every day. Try to remember. Write in your journal every day. Write your questions. How do I feel? How do I want to feel? You write down how you want to feel, and pretty soon your brain will kick in and go, okay, you want to feel this way? We're going to manifest it. Yesterday, I was kind of wanted to go do something, and they had a birthday party for the cat down at the Huntley Museum. They have a museum cat. So I went to the cat's birthday party. It was like, 2 miles from my house. And I'm in there visiting with all of them, and they were all talking away, and I was visiting with some people I don't know. And they're like, oh, we really want to start doing like a sip and paint here, but we don't know an artist. I said, I teach art classes like 2 doors down. I can just move it over here. Star House. So yeah, I'm on. I'm going to be teaching an art class at the Huntley Museum on Saturday, the 5th of April. And it's, donation only, but, the cat will sit there. We might paint the cat. The one thing that I do want to do, since we're getting close to 11, every time I give a talk, I'm just going to read to you. I know that I did read a little bit of it on a Zoom. So today we're just going to go daily word. And they do use Bible references, but they don't necessarily say where they're from. But this was what the Fillmores printed in 1924 for all of us. So happy 100 years for Unity here. The word for today is, God in me is my light and my understanding. The truth that God is the Father of man does away with the oft-proclaimed presumption that it is impossible for the finite to understand the infinite. Christian Healing, page 10. Now, they do use man, he, him, whatever, so I will change it to the more expanded mental picture here. It says, in order to have spiritual understanding, we must first recognize that we have the capacity for it. When we acknowledge that it is natural and right for us to have full knowledge of the infinite, we are confirming our own ability to enjoy infinite understanding. We are manifestations of God within, and in his likeness is all-wise and all-knowing. To believe in the real presence of God as divine mind in us is to identify ourselves with all light and knowledge. We are primarily mind, and it is necessarily unlimited mentality. We take our God-given dominion and power first through consciousness, and consequently must have full possession of all truth. Begin today to rise out of the belief that by nature you are limited in understanding. Never think or say that anything is too difficult for you to comprehend. Think at all times as being capable of knowing all truth. Learn to rely upon the light of God within to make clear whatever you wish to know. God, who commanded the light to shine out of the darkness, has shined in our hearts to give the light of knowledge. The earth shall be full of the knowledge of God. So this is from the original founders. It's just so precious to have. So I have a whole lot more on the subject today, since I wrote 17 pages. I watched Marcia last week, and she said she didn't have notes, and I said, I have like a whole book I bring with me every time. But I will be also, with their publisher, I'm going to start going ahead and putting the talks from the last 3 years into book form. So that's a real inspiration for me that they're my co-creators on these ideas. So anyway, we're right at the about time for coffee and cookies. So let's all stand up for the blessing.
No cookies.
Oh, mental cookies.
Sorry. Girl Scouts haven't delivered yet.
So right here, right now, we have the power to change our consciousness by simply affirming the now and using the power of our breath. we wake to a new way of being. Highly going to recommend this tool, the 2 quick breaths in and 1 big long breath out, because it grabs a hold of your stress reaction. It changes everything. So we use this tool of pranayama to release our stuck energy. And I say, God bless you and namaste. And boy, am I happy to be here.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.